Hey guys, welcome back to Matryoshka Tip channel, and today we're gonna talk about something every guy has experienced, when what she says and what she actually means aren't quite the same thing. And it's not that women are trying to confuse you, but sometimes their words have deeper meanings.
What do you want? What do you want?
In this video, I'll mention some common phrases women use and explain what they really mean. Let's get started. When she says, "I'm fine," what she actually means is, "I'm upset, but I'm not ready to talk about it right now." For example, you notice she's been quiet all evening, and when you ask if something's wrong, she says, "I'm fine." Now, it might be tempting to take this at face value and leave it at that, but here is the thing. "I'm fine" is often code for "I'm not fine, but I don't want to argue or explain right now." Women in general tend to avoid direct confrontation, especially if they feel emotional or vulnerable. By saying "I'm fine," she might be protecting herself or testing if you care enough to ask further. She could also be waiting until she feels calmer to express what's really bothering her. This is called emotional regulation. So what do you need to do? Instead of pushing, show her you're there for her by saying, "I feel like something's bothering you. When you're ready, I'm here to listen." Give her space, but stay emotionally available. When she says, "Do whatever you want," what she actually means, "I want you to make the right decision, but I'm frustrated." For instance, imagine you're making plans with your friends and you ask her if it's okay for you to hang out with them. She responds with, "Do whatever you want." Sounds like she's giving you permission, right?
Obviously, don't go and do that, please.
Hey, you do whatever you like.
We can't condone anything of the sort.
No, we can't. Live!
Wrong. What she's really saying is that she's upset and wants you to reconsider. Women often use indirect language to avoid conflict, but they expect their partner to understand their emotional cues. This is linked to a psychological concept called covert communication, where the expectation is that you'll read between the lines. It's less about permission and more about testing your awareness of how your decisions affect her. What should you do? Pause and reassess. Ask her, "I feel like there is more to this. Is something bothering you about my plans?" This shows her that you're considering her feelings and opens up the conversation for clarity. What she says, "We need to talk," what she actually means, "There's something bothering me and it's serious enough that I need your full attention." Okay, let's imagine. She texts you, "We need to talk," and your mind immediately goes to worst case scenarios. This phrase is a relationship classic, right? But it's important to recognize the weight behind it. In female communication, this phrase signals that something emotional or significant is on her mind, right? It's often used when a woman has been thinking deeply about an issue and feels it's time to address it. This is tied to the concept of emotional disclosure, when someone feels the need to express their feelings to restore emotional balance in a relationship. So, what should you do? Don't panic, but don't brush it off either. Create a comfortable environment where she feels safe to open up. Say something like, "I'm here, let's talk whenever you're ready." And listen without interrupting when the conversation happens. What she says, "It's up to you." What she actually means, "I want you to decide, but I hope you make the choice that I prefer." Okay, for example, let's say you're deciding where to eat for dinner and she says, "Oh, it's up to you, babe." What she's really hoping is that you'll pick something that she'll enjoy without her having to tell you. So, this relates to a subtle expectation of mind reading that can sometimes happen in relationships. Women may assume that their partner knows them well enough to anticipate their preferences without being told directly. It's a way to gauge how well you understand her likes and dislikes. So what should you do? If you're not sure, offer her a couple of options you think she'll like. For example, "How about Italian or sushi, babe? I know you love both." This shows her that you're thinking about her preferences, which is what she's really after. What she says, Nothing's wrong. What she actually means? Something is definitely wrong, but I don't want to get into it now. Maybe you notice she's been a bit distant, and when you ask her about it, she says, nothing's wrong. It's a classic phrase that often means the exact opposite. This goes back to emotional protection. She might not be ready to open up because she's still processing her emotions, or she fears the conversation might escalate. Sometimes it's easier to say nothing is wrong than to risk a conflict. I do it very often. What should you do? Don't force her to talk, but let her know you're aware something's off. A simple, I'm here when you're ready to talk, babe, can go a long way. This reassures her that you care without pressuring her. So understanding what she says versus what she really means isn't about playing mind games. It's about recognizing emotional cues and responding with empathy. The more you can tune into these hidden messages, the better your communication will be. So next time you hear these phrases, take a moment, read the room, consider the context, and maybe, just maybe, you'll decipher this code. But let's be real, even with all the psychology in the world, sometimes we just want you to pass the salt without turning it into a quest for the holy grail of understanding. See you in the next one. Bye. Mwah.